Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm trying to get this set up right now. How's the fragrance life, everybody? How's it going? How's this looking? This is the first time I've tried to put it sideways. And while I'm live, it's kind of funny. I don't really like it, but we'll make do. How's it look? So, fragrance lovers, how y'all doing? Who's here? How y'all doing? For me personally, it's been going pretty good this week. I've gotten into a lot of new fragrances. I finally got one. I'll show y'all in my haul that I've been wanting. It's alternative to Herod by Parfums de Marly, at least for me in my collection. Very, very good stuff. So many good fragrances out there. You always find something that's your Goldilocks, something that's perfect for you. So I'm really curious to see, have y'all found any fragrances that are Goldilockses for you? Any fragrances that you truly love that are perfect for you? That's what I encourage y'all to do. Find those fragrances that you really love. I see people popping in and out. Is the connection all right? How's the connection, everybody? So I just want to chill with y'all, see how things are going, joke around a little bit. Fridays I like to be on here a little bit long, not as long as I do Saturdays. Saturdays I'm here for a little while longer, but we'll see how long I can go. I jumped on here and it's about 60% power, so we'll see how long we can go. So how was your week, everybody? Hey Dean, how you doing? Lavender Extreme, great fragrance. Honestly, I have tried that one, but what kind of performance did you get out of it? I remember getting like 6 hours, and I was kind of surprised. I was thinking it would last longer, but it is a nice fragrance. Some people, it's kind of like Lost Cherry. Some people feel like it's not, maybe not as complex enough for their taste. I don't know. For me, again, I have a hard time with Tom Ford prices, but overall, hey, it smells nice. Maybe if I find a really, really good price on it, maybe one day I'll scoop it up. But is that one of your favorites, Dean? Do you love lavender fragrances? Um, a topic that's on my mind is I'm really interested to see after we get out of all these crazy times. Six, yep, Tom Ford signatures. Yeah, they're expensive, and 6 hours. That's what I got out of it. So happy to see you got a similar longevity. You know, when I do my fragrance videos, it's so, I guess you would say, subjective with my skin chemistry and my opinions and what if I'm paying enough, enough attention to the fragrance. If I get other people's opinions, are they paying enough attention? How well do they know fragrances and what they communicate, what they don't communicate. So it's sometimes hard as a fragrance reviewer to give an kind of a estimate. A Cologne 101 in Espanol. What's I think that's how you say it. How you doing, my friend? How y'all doing this beautiful Friday? I hope that you're having a good Friday. I hope that y'all are taking it easy, relaxing, and just doing well out there in the world. I'm excited to see what new fragrance creations are about to be released. I know Terenzi is about to release a whole new collection. I don't know if y'all are on the Instagram scene, but some of these perfumers on there, and again, I watch all of them, and I love a lot of them, the amazing work that they do. I watched the lives of the owners of Ex Nihilo, Terenzi, Parfums de Marly, and I think, I forget who it was, I think Carlos over there, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, was interviewing one of them. Mr. Cologne 76 interviews a good amount of people, and I'm trying to remember. I think somebody else interviewed somebody else. I can't remember, but interviews happen, so I always love to see those. Get to see the insights into the company. Oh, Zerzhov, that was one of the ones I knew I was forgetting. Zerzhov, the owner, the OG, the man himself gets on there sometimes, and he's interviewed, and he's a fantastic guy as well. So, anyways, what fragrances have y'all been into? For me, I've been buying a little bit too much. I guess, if you're quarantined, you get a little bit bored. And by golly, sometimes you get tempted to buy some of those new fragrances. Am I? Okay, I guess the camera's alright. I always get fussy with the camera. Anyways, new Le Male coming out. I saw that. What's it called? Is it the Parfum? Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Parfum? Is it Absoluto or is it what? I forget what it's called. Um, I saw it posted. Supposed to be a little bit of a darker version, a little bit heavier, maybe longer lasting. I don't remember. Are the other Jean Paul Gaultier Lamals, are they EDT concentrations? Is this one going to be an Eau de Parfum, or are they going to be pretty much the same concentration? I don't remember that off the top of my head. Anyways, I don't know. The fragrance world is a funny place. As far as me with fragrance reviews and where fragrance reviewers are going, I really do appreciate individual reviews. If I want to buy a fragrance, if I want to learn more about a fragrance, I find it much more meaningful to see an individual review. I do like to save my time, so 10 to 15 minutes is usually the sweet spot. Some reviewers go 20, even 30 minutes on a single fragrance. And I think that you can, make it happen within 10 or 15 minutes. But some people do like to be a little bit more casual about things. But y'all know my feelings with the fragrance world and the fragrance community. Everything is going to be it's going that route of almost commercial where it's just top 10 list. And I can't blame the people if that's what YouTube as a platform wants, and if that's what other viewers want to watch. I guess I can't blame them for making that content, but I wish it wasn't that way. I wish more actual individual reviews would be done. So I don't want to be reprimanded for not wearing pants. Well, honestly, Lucas Poe, I don't know if you saw my video today. I gave you a shout out. I enjoyed your tag. I don't even remember who originally started that tag, but it was a good one. And you're a cool guy, man. If y'all haven't checked out Lucas Poe, he's a cool guy, and he deserves some attention. So give him a chance, And you can record. You don't even have to wear underwear if you don't want to. You can just record from the top, the top up. So do your thing, man. If you're crazy enough, I guess you could just record your neck up. Um, I'm not trying to bash any other fragrance reviewers, but I won't say her name because some people just are too sensitive. Their thin skin these days. But there's a lady reviewer who did a live with her in the bathtub. So, hey, don't feel ashamed. Do what you want. There's already been a lady who got in the bathtub and did a live. So, in the fragrance community. And I'm not just talking about in general. Who knows what Instagram gals are doing these days? Let's see. How does In the Navy compare to Ultramalt? In the Navy, to me, is uh is a little bit more of like a blue fragrance. It's a little, in my opinion, it's definitely Jean Paul Gaultier trying to approach that blue DNA. Possibly it might remind you of Sauvage a little bit, but it's a little bit salty. I like the mint off the top, and it has some sweetness. I do think In the Navy is a good creation if you're wanting a mass appealing blue-esque, blue-like fragrance. I think it's quite good. Full retail price, I wouldn't go for it. It seems to has gotten some lukewarm reception from some of the big fragrance reviewers early on. Compared to a lot of the other blue fragrances, I think it's way better than the YSL Ys, personally. I mean, I guess they don't work for me. I don't like that candy ginger smell in the middle of those blue fragrance DNAs with YSL Y. I don't know. That's just me, though. But compared to Ultramall, Ultramall is more of a plum fragrance to me. It's just more sweet. It doesn't really have a lot of the vanilla, and it doesn't really have any. It doesn't really feel like it has lavender. It just feels a little bit more maybe rich and sweet, but it doesn't really feel like a blue fragrance. So they're both different things. I think you could both have them in your collection without feeling redundant, depending how big your collection is and if you really do like the Jean Paul Gaultier style and the DNA. For me, Ultramall never worked for me. I know a lot of people out there love it. It's all right, but it's a little bit too young, and it just is not my. It's to me, it's definitely a party vibe. It's definitely like a fragrance that you would wear to like a rave or some like crazy electric party scene. It's just loud. It's very sweet, and it kind of has that kind of playful vibe about it. And y'all know me. I like either seductive fragrances or classy fragrances. A lot of my fragrance choices, I don't like being in that really, really sweet, laid back, really like, like, I guess, I don't know, playful kind of nature, that cozy nature. I don't know. Two different fragrances, not bad at all though, Dean. In the Navy is much more aromatic and fresher. True, it's definitely fresher. Um, it's still kind of on that a little bit on the darker blue side of things, in my opinion. But I definitely agree it's fresher and it's brighter than Ultramall. Ultramall definitely is approaching that dark territory, kind of heavy, kind of sweet. So, Al Haramain Amber Oud though. Amber Oud by Al Haramain. I don't know if I've tried that one. I don't recall. I know there's a bunch of flankers. I do need to try. Is that the ones that have the golden plaques in the front? Is that the one they have like a tobacco amber or a tobacco version? I think it is. I want to try that one. I really do. Isn't that one surprisingly like a gourmand, as people say? I'm trying to remember. You let me know, Cloud Based Sense. And check out his channel too. He's a cool guy. He's a new upcoming fragrance reviewer. Centralized. Check out him out too. Hey y'all. Hey, how you doing, man? How's it going? I'm just taking it easy. I'm just hanging out. Nothing. We don't have a big fragrance discussion. We're just, whatever slang you want to throw out there, chewing the corn or whatever. We're just taking it easy. I don't have a big agenda on the topic today, but I'll throw out my thoughts here and there about how I feel or what I think. A rave, lol. Just a sweet clubbing scent. Low vanilla, great cold weather scent. I like to wear in the cold winter here in Utah. Yeah, it's a good scent. You can wear whatever you want when you want. I'm not trying to stereotype it, but for me personally, sometimes when I smell a fragrance, I try to imagine a person who would wear that fragrance. And it's a very subjective, personal thing for me. But when I see that fragrance, I don't know. Maybe you're a very responsible, middle income dad, and you have a couple kids, and you're a very cool, sensible guy. I don't know, but to me, that fragrance makes me think of a rave. It's kind of crazy, but do your thing, man. Do your thing. Wear your fragrance. And that's another topic I've always talked about. If somebody, a fragrance has, everybody says it's a certain way, and it smells a certain way. You don't have to agree with everybody, and you can enjoy a fragrance the way you want to be. You can wear it when you want to. You can spray how many sprays you want to. I mean, I guess if your employer or maybe like I don't know, if you have a wife or a significant other who it really bothers. But for the most part, I mean, I guess do absolutely what you want, my friends. Anyways, what topics are on y'all's mind? On your mind? What fragrances? What thoughts? I'm wearing Starry Nights by Montal tonight, and that's beast mode. DJ, did you were you on my live on Instagram? I was on there about 30 minutes ago, and I just showcased. I don't want to spoil everything, but for I'm gonna do a haul video, a big. I'm gonna do it like a smaller haul video for another haul from Fragrance by CA, and I'm gonna do another haul just for everything that I bought in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or three. But I bought that one too. Starry Nights, really good fragrance. If you're a musk lover, if you like sensual musk, that stuff is very long lasting and it's a great one. It's really nice. And for I don't know why, I was also trying to look up the notes and see if anybody had put any reviews on Montal.com. And if I search for it, the direct link, I don't know if they just messed up on Montal. I don't think it's discontinued. Everybody's still selling it everywhere. But if I click on the link on Montal's website, it brings me to the homepage instead of to the individual product. And instead of bringing me to Starry Nights, it just brings me to the homepage. So I don't know if somebody messed up today, or if I don't know what's going on over there. What kind of funny business they doing? Who knows? Hi, Centralized. I just saw your review on Hello by Lionel Richie. Is that how you say it? Forgive me. I don't even know how to say that. I'm uncultured. I saw Hello. I don't know if I need to catch up. I don't know if I've seen that one, but I do love that you're showcasing. And again, with fragrance reviewers, to me, that's the benefit and that's the purpose of the fragrance community, is for all of us to share and talk about and enjoy um, different fragrances from different places in the world, and things we're interested in. We're all on a different fragrance journey, and we're all learning and sharing with each other all the wonderful fragrances out there. It's impossible for one person like me or anybody to keep up with the sometimes even just the designer releases, but the 3,000 fragrances that were released last year. I'll say it again. I've said it a couple times. I don't even think the fragrance community as a whole, the bloggers, the Instagrammers, the Facebook people, Fragrantica, YouTubers, everybody combined, I don't think we even reviewed probably 500 or whatever. That's just a guess, but I don't even think we reviewed, even half. I don't even think we got to a quarter of all the fragrances that were actually released last year. So and just think about all the years in the past and all the fragrances that have not gotten any spotlight, any attention. There's so many fragrances out there. It's a new fragrance. It's on sale at Macy's. I'll have to check it out. Do you think it's worth the go? I have spent almost every most of my budget and everything that I should spend right now, or can spend, I should say. But there's always another fragrance out there. I probably won't do it, but I have been tempted by Givenchy Pie Extreme recently. That's definitely on my buy list. I'd like to own. There's a couple more Montals, and I kind of been tempted by Choco Vanille by Monsara. I'm not sure if I'll buy that one. And for the longest time, I've been tempted by Oud Cafe by Monsara, but I've never bought that one either. So a lot of fragrances out there, a lot of them. Always want. There's always a new fragrance to try, isn't there? So, hmm, what else? What else? What else have y'all been buying? What else have y'all been getting into? I have a some fragrances I'll showcase tomorrow. Another indie brand. If y'all are on my Instagram scene, and I'll showcase them. But if y'all are into indie fragrances, I still have to test them some more. I don't know how I feel about them. They're kind of weird. And he can be really weird fragrances, but it's another brand that I don't know if it's owned or if it's just inspired, but it's definitely got a witchy theme. Witchies. Man, witches. Today is good for 6 sprays of Ultra Ball. I know that that's going to last on you. I know that you're going to be smelling up the place really nice. 6 sprays of Ultra Ball. You'll smell good. You'll smell real good for a very long time, my friend. So, for me, I don't know. Maybe y'all can help me. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm getting really picky with fragrances. Like, I've smelled so many fragrances, and my collection is very. I'm very happy with where my collection is for the most part. And I've smelled a lot of niche, and there's a few of them here and there that I want to buy. But and most of the fragrance that I have in my imagination, I want to make them. So I'm kind of getting to the point where I kind of want to focus on, my me actually being a perfumer. I'm curious to see what y'all think about that. There's so many fragrances out there to try. I don't want to feel like I'm discrediting them. Like I could go to Lucky Scent right now. You and me, everybody, we can go to luckyscent.com, and there are lots of fragrances that none of us have ever tried. You might never have heard of them. There's a lot of fragrances out there, even on Lucky Scent. And to be honest, I don't know if there are quite a few of them that I would like, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to dive deeper down the rabbit hole of niche. I kind of do, but I'm kind of scared because I don't know. Maybe I just need to get my finances up. I definitely do not have the money to play around with, a couple $100 worth of a couple $100 just for one fragrance like that. So let's see the comments. I'm tired of just randomly buying frags and getting mediocre ones. It's a bottomless pit. Yeah, that's always the risk with buying cheapies and blind buying fragrances. Uh, the world is getting back to normal. You'll be able to actually go to a boutique, hopefully, or even if you're going for designers, your local mall. So hopefully it'll get back to normal soon, so you can actually do that. But try to avoid blind buying if you don't have, if you can't trust your, I don't know, instincts, and you don't have good luck, and with blind buying, maybe it's not for you. For me, I usually I don't know. I usually like 2 out of 3 blind buys that I do, but I do a lot of research and I usually take a lot of time and I watch a lot of reviews. And I've been tempted to buy a lot of fragrances, but I usually just don't. I usually don't buy everything that I would like to. I try to be a little bit reserved. Sorry, dogs are fighting. I feel you there. I've bought a lot of mediocre or fragrances, blind bought them, and I ended up not liking them. Sorry, these dogs are absolutely crazy out here. Let's see. Um, hey, say that schism? Is that how you say it? Hey, on average, how many sprays do you apply? I use about 5. Yeah, that's perfect. If it's a stronger fragrance, I might wear spree. I mean, 3 if I could speak right. 3 sprays, and it depends on the fragrance. If it's a really fresh fragrance, honestly, some days if I especially if I know I'm going to be outside, or if I just don't care, and it's if it's a fragrance that I want to try to make it perform a little bit better, it doesn't help much. You're mostly getting better projection. Anyways, I'll still do it even though it's not smart. I might put on like 7 or 8 sprays, or I don't usually go to parties to get noticed or anything, but if I was, I might put on like 6 sprays of something not strong. But yeah, 5 sprays, 4 or 5 sprays is plenty good enough for most fragrances. It'll definitely get you um, a lot of performance and everything that you need. You know, you can do what you want. I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but if you spray 10, some of these people who bundle spray, if you put on 10 sprays, if you put on 20 sprays, especially of an oud or something heavy, I don't know where you work. I don't know what you do, but in my experience, you'll offend people. I went to work one time wearing a cup, like 5, maybe 6 sprays of a fresh fragrance, and there was somebody with breathing problems, and that choked them out. And it wasn't an obnoxious fragrance. It was Versace Pour Homme, which it does project a good amount in the opening, but it was only 5 or 6 sprays. I'm editing my top 10 summer niche for my English channel, but notice some reviewers are doing summer night top. Are you planning on doing one, summer night fragrances? I might. I was actually one the people who started most like all that whole kind of genre and that whole thing. I guess you could call me the father of making seasonal fragrance videos and like summer date nights and spring date nights. I was the one who started all that. I'm not a collector. I don't have hundreds of fragrances, and I showcase what I have in my collection because I truly love those fragrances and I truly wear them. I could present to y'all, the best, the biggest compliment getters, and what the top 10 fragrances that most people are going to like for these situations. And I've tried to do that a little bit in the past, but I'm not really going to focus or try to do that too much in the future. I'm just going to be being a little bit more true to myself with my fragrance journey. I might do some of those summer lists. I don't think I've actually released a top 10 summer list, have I, this year? I know some of y'all want one. I'll do one. I might do a summer night list if y'all want. Fragrances I like to wear for summer nights. I just don't have a huge collection. To me, fragrances is a journey, it's an exploration, and I tend to buy more samples and more decants than I actually own fragrances. And that's another thing that I think fragrance reviewers like myself, I think we have a duty to tell y'all. Again, everybody's different budgets. Some people are collectors, but the average person might get swallowed up in seeing people like me and other people and how many fragrances I showcase. I showcase fragrances from my dad's collection, sometimes from my mom's collection. Me and my dad had given lots of fragrances to my mom. I've given fragrances as gifts away. I don't keep all these fragrances, and I don't know. I only keep what I love. And you can see all these popular fragrances, all the new releases. Oh, this is the best of the best. This fragrance, and this is the best of this. And you might just be tempted to buy all this stuff. And what really matters, and I think what y'all need to hear, is that y'all should buy what you love. If you love a fragrance, wear it and love it, but don't buy into something because of the hype. Don't wear something because somebody says just because girls like it. That can be a factor, but I think you need to enjoy the fragrance too. You need to enjoy it, and then ladies actually liking it. That's kind of a secondary thing. I think we need to all be true to ourselves, and also maybe be a little bit more responsible money wise. Again, I don't know what kind of financial situations y'all are in, but for me, and I think the average person, having over 100 fragrances is quite excessive. A lot of people might say that's an extreme thing to do, have 100 fragrances or more. So I don't know. Look at your collection. Look at what you're buying. Do you really love those fragrances? And if there's some that you don't, try to sell things that you don't love and fund with that money that you sold off some fragrances that you don't love that much, and buy some things that you actually like. And we can't get into that addiction phase like with anything. Just because it's new, you can get like a temporary high because it's new, it's exciting, you unpackage it, and you can fall into a trap of always wanting the newest, flashiest fragrance. And with designer fragrances, that's kind of what they're wanting to do, having a new updated version of the new YSLY, the Aqua di Gio, or anything like that out there. So, and you might feel like you have to buy those fragrances, and you really don't. So that's a little bit of my rant. I hope that y'all liked. That's one of my thoughts. But be careful, and I guess be true to yourself. I hope that we all as fragrance reviewers are encouraging all of us to have our own individual fragrance journey. To have your own individual fragrance journey, you might not be so enthusiastic or so. You might not blind buy into the hype as much as some people do. To be on your own fragrance journey, your fragrance collection might look different from other people's, and you might not even have those fragrances that somebody says you have to have or you must have. And I think it's kind of a clownish thing to do. That's the lingo these days. I kind of don't like the term, but it's kind of being a clown if I or any fragrance reviewer tells you you must have this or you have to have this in your collection, or you're just not a real fragrance lover. I absolutely detest when people do that kind of stuff. It rubs me absolutely the wrong way, and I'll never do that to you. And let's see here. Catch up with the comments. Hiya, on average, how many sprays do you apply? I already answered that. Cologne 101. In editing my top 10 summer niche, I read that already. What's going on with the comments? I had Baudier say Valiant, and honestly, I thought I wasted my money. The Dapper clone works just fine. That kind of goes to, we're all different people. There's people who might buy that Dapper clone and might say that they don't like the quality of it, and might actually think that end up going and buying the original. We're all different people, and that's perfectly fine. The average person is you don't need 100 mils of a niche fragrance, especially if it's a special occasion fragrance. You don't need that much of it, and you're paying. I've talked about this before, but diminishing returns, the law of diminishing returns. Uh, the more quality you pay for, the higher the price of something. There is a happy medium for something. It all depends on what you're buying, but once you get past a certain threshold, like in the fragrance world, it might be $80 because of the gray market. Some people might argue, I don't know, 40 or $50, but let's just say for the sake of argument that the happy medium is $80. You can get higher quality than that $80 designer fragrance from your mall, most certainly. But the more you pay, the less quality you're getting gradually and gradually. The more you pay, the less and less quality you're getting. So once you get past $100, you're getting a lot less for your money. And once you get past 150, you are getting better quality. There's no doubt that those $250 fragrances are better quality, but are they a lot better quality than the $150 fragrances? Usually not, and vice versa. So it all depends on your budget. Some people like the natural ingredients. Some people like the artisticness. Some people like the originality of actually buying a fragrance that's original. There's all kinds of different fragrance people, and I try to see everybody's points of view. I've seen some people who absolutely detest clones. I've seen some people who absolutely will pretty much disregard you or disrespect you and won't talk to you anymore if you have anything to do with clones. And I've met people who also are on the complete opposite side, and they think that if you spend over, I don't know, $80 on a fragrance, that you're absolutely wasting your money and that you're a fool. So there's very different people out there with different feelings and opinions regarding fragrance. My motto is just wear what you love. And I was one of the guys who started pioneering actually talking about clones. I know that there's lots of people who have talked about clones before me, but I talked about clones pretty heavily, and I did that for a good long while. And I still think Alexandra does a pretty good job. Some of theirs aren't the best, but sometimes Alexandra does have really good juice. And I am behind Zoha. I think Zoha does a really good job overall. So yeah, let me see. Nice, thank you. Let me catch up with the comments. Yeah, but DJ, definitely save that money. If you like that Dapper fragrance and it works for you, definitely go for it, my friend. Honestly, I haven't tried any Dapper fragrances. I don't have anything against them. I was just pointing out that we're all different fragrance reviewers. We're all our fragrance lovers and enthusiasts, and we all see things differently. And I kind of don't like it when people fight. We all have a similar hobby. We're all enthusiasts, and we're all in this hobby and the same passion. I don't think we should be fighting each other. We all have the same hobby and the same passion. So, evening scent of the day is Dolce Gabbana the One. That's a really good fragrance. Still a great fragrance, and some people say that's outdated, but I don't think so. Still a good juice. Still very good juice. Save up a bit. Going to buy either Chanel O Extreme Bois de Jour. Is that how you say it? Bois de Jour? Bois de Jour? Or Dior Homme Intense. Oh yeah, all those would do you well. If you're thinking seasonally, I don't know. The Chanel O Extreme might be good for summer nights. The Bois de Jour is the most versatile. Sorry about that. Kind of the most versatile out of the three, but go with your gut, man. Go with whichever one works the best for you. All those are solid fragrances for sure. Hey, Fragrance Journey, happy to see you, man. How's it going? How's the world? How's the fragrance life? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing better. Y'all know that I'm trying to get myself out of a rough spot, have a normal life, pretty much. But I'll get there. Thank you for the love, my friend. How you doing? What's your fragrance? What's your scent of the day? I'm wearing all kinds of things. I'm wearing, what am I wearing? My Armaf Niche Platinum on this arm. Yeah, it's still there. It's that new Pure Excess Night. I'm spoiling things, but hey, I really like that one. I really like it. I don't know why. Sparkly vanilla Coca-Cola. Natural ingredients sometimes cause more skin sensitivity. That's true. Yeah, it can be. Uh, it really just depends. But yeah, sometimes chemically, naturals can be much more complex. That's true. There can be a lot more to possibly go wrong. And if you are very sensitive with your skin, I suppose that you could be more sensitive to naturals. There's a lot more going into them. Probably more natural allergens and things. So, Happyland and January Scent Project. Okay. I'm trying to keep the same frame of keep the conversation. What do you mean about Happyland and January Scent? Are you getting into those? Or do those give you allergies? Does Happyland give you allergies? Let me know. Yeah, January Scent Project has very natural scents. Pretty good stuff from what I've heard. For some reason, I know it's a completely different brand, but sometimes my mind, when I hear January Scent Project, my mind goes to Slumber House. And I don't know why, but I know that they're very different companies. But sometimes in my mind, I'm like, January Scent, Slumber House. Nope. They shouldn't do that. Bad thought, bad idea. I heard you mention before that you want your own fragrances. Are you planning on a Kickstarter? I might try that. I don't know. Maybe if y'all want to do a Kickstarter, I've thought about it, but I don't know. I'm a little bit of a renegade, and then I don't want to ask for help, but I could use the help. Would y'all be interested in doing that? Is that something y'all be interested in? Um, I'd kind of want to do that, not to really just raise funds, but maybe sell some of my first products. Sell some of my first fragrances. I don't want to do a Kickstarter for y'all just to donate, so I can just buy ingredients and start making it. I definitely want to give back to y'all if I'm able to do that. Good house for the money. Oh yes, for sure. Happy Land definitely does not cheat you. Happy Land, you might like them, you might not like them, but he's giving y'all a very good a very good value for money, at least in my opinion. And if y'all want a very kind of a more interesting summer fragrance, Blue Fire is quite good. I think it's nice. Some people don't seem to like it. It's a tiny bit medicinal. It's a tiny bit herbal, but it's a very interesting, sweet, kind of interesting twist on, in my opinion, Baccarat Rouge 540. So definitely give them a go. When you buy a department store fragrance, the perfumer only gets 1/5 of the money. Yeah, I wouldn't be amazed if that's the case. I don't know how things are organized. I don't know if they get a commission per sale. I don't know if they're paid an upfront fee just to do the work to create the fragrance. I don't know how. I a lot of these things in the background, behind the scenes. I'd be interested. I really would like to see how these things are done. But if you've worked in the industry or if you know any details, please let us know, Steve. I'm always learning. Yeah, I chip in. Okay, Ronald, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll have to see what I can do. In my links in my videos, I don't know if y'all do want to help me at all. And again, I'm not asking y'all to. Y'all are all. Some of y'all have donated in the past, and it's super generous of you. But y'all can do super chats, and I do have a what's it called? A what's it called? I can't remember, a subscribe star. It's kind of similar to Patreon, and I never push it, but I do include it at the end of my videos. I never push the thing. I never ask for it, but sorry, mosquitoes after me if y'all can tell, or a little gnat. But buy from small niche houses to get better ingredients. I agree. With small niche houses and people who are really passionate about fragrances, they're not putting as much money or any money into advertising or marketing like these bigger companies are. Bigger companies are paying for, all of this like pork, you'd say like all of this, you know, organization and like analytics and studies and all these relations with suppliers and all of that, and the small people who are using more natural ingredients, who are more passionate about it and doing it on a smaller scale, um, they're definitely not doing all that kind of business. So a lot of what you're paying for, like Dior Sauvage, Dior Sauvage, those commercials. I remember seeing those commercials so heavy for like 6 months. I remember seeing those commercials for 6 months or more. All I saw was like Dior Sauvage commercials left and right. So you're definitely paying for that. The money, the budget is coming from somewhere, and I don't know how much of it is that part of that bottle, but you pay at the mall. I don't know. You might be paying for $5 or $10 worth of advertising, because of that bottle. And again, nothing's wrong with Sauvage. You might like it, but you're definitely paying for that advertising. Let's see here. Is Metalic Perfumes any good? He does do a good job. Yes. I have Clovewood Lounge from him. It's a very good cedar fragrance. His fragrances are well done. He is studied for the most part and is focused on kind of vintage perfumery. He loves learning and kind of recreating vintage fragrances. That's his passion of sorts. And he does a good job at it, no doubt about it. But if you're looking for modern fragrances, if you're looking for things that push the creative envelope of niche fragrances with ingredients and those kinds of things. He uses a lot of top quality ingredients, but he is again kind of leaning more towards vintage fragrances, 50s and 60s and maybe 70s style. He's a cool guy for the most part, so yeah, give him a chance. Do a lot of people talk about him? I don't know why. I don't. Some people keep coming back to me and asking me about Meleg, and I don't know why. Kind of, I don't know. Is he curious? uh, is he getting popular? I don't even know. Let's see here. Schism says thoughts on Sammy Andreas fragrance. I'm curious about Blue Fire. Honestly, I haven't. I don't think I've tried Blue Fire. Um, Blue Fire, Sammy Andreas. I don't think I've tried any of those. I'll definitely work on it though. There's so many to try. Sammy Andreas Blue Fire. I don't think I've tried those. Is that a good one? Do you recommend it? Do you recommend I try it out and review it? Any fragrance houses similar to him, but more modern, similar to Melig. Um, We just talked about January scent project. If you like a modern, a little bit more modern, but still uses earthy notes and does a very good job of using heavier, more dense natural ingredients, you might just you might like Slumber House. I just mentioned them. Slumber House does an amazing job. You might like them. Let me think. There's another. I don't know if you've tried Roja. I think they're awfully expensive for what they are, but you might like some of them. Some people seem to really like some of the Roja fragrances. I don't think they're very original for the most part, but you know, if you do like semi vintage fragrances, they do. You know, a lot of theirs are slightly vintage inspired, so you might like that. What else? There's a number of brands that are kind of deeper. Oh, the Vagabond Prince. Definitely check out them. And I think, oh, this is something I wanted to let y'all know. I don't think it's ended, but if you go to Fragrantica, or there's some way online that you can buy Vagabond certain bottles of Vagabond Prince for like $100. I think it's through Fragrantica. They're having like I don't know if they're closing their doors or if they're just liquidating some stock. I don't know what's going on, but it's an amazing sale. It's like $100 for a bottle, and usually they're like double that price. So definitely check that out. Um, I like wearable niche. I like my fragrances to be in the middle. I feel you there. I personally don't like when niche smells like designer, but I do like it when niche is wearable but yet also interesting. I usually don't go for really weird, unwearable, strange kind of things. But I do feel you there. I do like fragrances that I actually enjoy wearing and that I would actually wear on at least a semi-regular basis. If it's a fragrance that I would wear very rarely, I really don't need to buy 100 mils. I might not even need 30 mils. But I feel you there. Let's see here. Maybe Meleg is like Jimi Hendrix on perfumery. Maybe so. Maybe so. I could see that. TLGTG did a review and he said it was good. Okay. I'll have to catch up. Honestly, I do watch other fragrance reviewers, but because I'm busy and I don't know if other fragrance reviewers feel the same. We're all on our own fragrance journeys. You know, sometimes we don't always watch each other. If I see something pop up on my notifications and somebody's video looks interesting, it doesn't matter to me. And I watch the small guys too. If they're showcasing a fragrance I've never seen, I've never heard of it before, I'll watch somebody if they have 50 subscribers. And I still watch some of the big guys, you know, Gent Sense, Max Forte, Robes, and you know, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover is a fine guy, but I don't know why. But for some reason, his personality, I don't know, nothing. I don't have anything wrong against the guy, but recently, I don't know. I'll probably watch him, but I don't know something. I don't. It's probably in my head, but oh, am I back? Sorry, guys. I must have said the wrong thing. I got glitched out. Is everybody still here? Sorry about that. I'm wearing niche. Let me catch up with the comments. Maybe I said something wrong there. I wasn't supposed to say anything. Let me move this camera too. Let me adjust this because y'all are being hit directly by the sunlight. I have to. Outdoors, you're playing with the weather, and it's absolutely bonkers. So let's see. Is that better, guys? Okay, we're back to normal. Just a little bit. Okay, Slumber House Norn is my most cherished fragrance. Very well done fragrance. Yeah, Slumber House makes some great fragrances. You have to catch them when he releases them. They're very desirable. He releases small batches, but if you love his fragrances, if you want them, you better be fast on the clicking and buy them up when you see them. So I have no idea when I don't think he's on a schedule at all, is he? I don't think he is. So did Fragrance Fanatic. Okay. I'll have to check that out. In a Spanish-speaking review, Sammy that released a fragrance line, bottles kind of look like old Alexandria. Okay, I'll have to check them out. I'll have to see what they're all about. Let's see here. What's your suggestion from Vagabond Prince? I've only tried one that I can remember, and it's the most popular one from the house. It's, you know, Enchanted Forest. I don't know, but as far as I've heard from other people, it is, you know, kind of the most mass appealing of the bunch. It's a black currant fragrance. It's very, very sweet, very rich. And if you like black currant, if you like things like Cedroc Boisé, You're probably going to love it. The dry down is a beautiful dark green forest kind of smell. It's really nice juice. It's just not really my vibe. I do, for some reason, I'm not the biggest fan of black currant. I don't know why. I like to eat black currant. I like blackberries, but for some reason I don't want to smell like a blackberry. I just don't know why. But yeah, definitely give them a go. I again, they are niche. The Enchanted Forest, in my opinion, isn't terribly hard to wear, but it is niche. So if you're blind buying into it, it could be risky. But hey, you might be able to resell it for a decent price. We're back. I'm happy that we're back. I'm sorry about that. The YouTube gods were telling me not to express more of my opinions on some bigger fragrance reviewers maybe. And I respect all of them and the journey and everything that they've done. But I don't know. With some bigger fragrance reviewers, I wonder if they're still exploring new fragrances, if they're still looking for new fragrances, if they have fun smelling new fragrances. I'm kind of sometimes I don't know, and we're all different people. There's been times where I've been down in the dumps. There's been times where I wanted to take a break, and maybe they feel like they don't can't take a break because if you do take a break on YouTube, everything is algorithm based, and you build that momentum. And if you do stop making videos, it can really hurt you as a fragrance reviewer if you're trying to be an actual YouTuber. So sometimes I wonder if some of these people are happy doing what they're doing because I might not look the happiest. Sometimes I'm tired, but I really am. I'm still passionate about fragrance. I think they are too, but maybe, and I don't want to judge them either. Just imagine if you'd been in this fragrance game like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then you're still smelling all the new fragrances and still talking about them. I don't know. I don't know. We're all different. It says, what are you saying about Brooklyn fragrance? No, I wasn't trying to say anything bad about him. I was just trying to say that whenever I watch him, I just get this like vibe, and I don't know what's wrong, and I can't express it, I can't articulate it, and I wish the best for the guy, and I still watch his content sometimes, especially in the past. I used to watch almost all of his content, but recently I don't know if it's in my head. I just get like a vibe, and I don't know if he's like unhappy, or if and I kind of get that vibe with some people sometimes. Um, I'm an INFJ personality, and I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of division in the fragrance community, and I don't want to get on that dark side of the fragrance community, but and but I was watching somebody's live, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about me, and I don't know if it was, but I do have a sixth sense sometimes. Some people throw shade and all that, and I don't know. I think there's some people in the fragrance community who are politically motivated with what's going on in the world right now, and I'm not going to get into the politics of everything, but it seems like they want to, quote unquote, like expose people because of their political beliefs, and I don't really express any of those and get into any of that. I'm a fragrance channel. This is a fragrance a pit. I talk about fragrance, and we're all talking about fragrances, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like some of these people aren't focused on fragrance as much as they should be. If you're a fragrance channel and you're a fragrance enthusiast, some of these people don't seem to be, I don't know, exploring new fragrances, and I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like their heart is in fragrances. I mean, why would you sit with a bunch of your friends and act like somebody's wronged you, which I haven't wronged anybody, but if anything, I've been wronged or people like me have. But uh, there is a dark side behind the fragrance community sometimes, and I'm hopeful, and I hopefully people will support the people who are positive and thinking about bringing people together and loving each other and passionate about fragrances, because that's what we need. And again, I wasn't trying to say anything against Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. I'm sure somebody is going to screenshot what I said and to him. I'm sure he's somehow going to hear about this, and who knows, he might get mad at me and say something at me at some point. I watch your channel if you're recording this, and if y'all are going to send anything, I still enjoy his content. I'm just saying that with him and other fragrance reviewers, and you might even be concerned about me sometimes. Anybody who's deep into a hobby and serious about a hobby and puts this much effort into it, you can sometimes worry that, if their life is not balanced or something. And I care about the guy, so I don't have anything against him. No ill feelings and nothing like that. But I don't know. I felt that about myself before. You know, am I in a good place? Am I having a good life balance? Am I taking care of everything else I need to do in my life? Am I focusing too much on fragrances and perfumery? Because if you get deep into this hobby, especially if you're a fragrance reviewer, you're trying to wake up in the morning. What am I going to wear today? You're trying to think all the time, like, what kind of performance is it getting? Are people liking it? And then you're always thinking about your next video idea, and you're doing that all the time, like every day, and it's a big focus. It's like a something that's a big part of your life. So, see here. Have you ever heard of Essential Perfumes? Perfumes niche for $75 wearable too. I haven't tried that brand. I'm not sure if I've heard of them. There's a lot of brands out there. I'm sorry if I doesn't. Is it a guy who doesn't like Aventus? I don't know. Are you talking about me? Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm gonna have to stop this sideways thing. Let me know. Do y'all like this sideways? Do y'all like the field of view? I don't like this. And it's when I touch it, I'm really close to hitting my home button. That's what I think I'm doing. I'm being really dumb over here touching my home button. If Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, if anybody wants to laugh at me, laugh at me. I touched the home button. So, hey Fragdicted, hey Bravius, hey, how y'all doing? What's up, Benjamin? Stepping in before I leave to work. I hope that you're doing really well. I hope that you're gonna have a great day at work, and I hope that you're safe, my friend. Happy that you decided to stop by. I'm catching up with the comments, everybody. Sorry. Thoughts on a Kajal Home? I haven't tried Kajal Home. I really want to. I haven't smelled it yet. Really want to. I've heard pretty good things about it, and I'm hoping that I can get my hands on it. So we'll see about that. I reviewed Yasmina. I believe that's how you say it. Check out my review of that one. I spoke pretty highly about that one. It's a pretty good house, from what I think, from what I smelled. But I only smelled one fragrance from him. So let me see here. Is it the guy who doesn't like Aventus? And if you're asking about me, if you're talking about me and Aventus, I like Aventus. I just don't like what they did with the fragrance. I don't like that they reformed it so much, and I don't like that people are getting cheated. Defend them if you want. Say it. They had to reformulate it because of IFRA. I don't care, but I really wouldn't recommend people to buy it for the price. If Creed wants to do that and make those changes, they're free to. But I almost wish that they had to make a legal disclaimer somehow that the formulation's been changed, or maybe they would be ethical and just lower their price because they're using cheaper ingredients. I don't know. See here. Fragdicted. Ben, just be you and concentrate on yourself. Don't get drawn into the drama. Yeah, I don't like the drama. Some people like to seem to fight. I just mentioned that because I was watching a live. People were asking some questions. I popped in. Some people act like you have to watch everything they put out. Y'all don't have to watch everything I put out. I don't feel offended or whatever. And I don't know. I popped into this live, and I hadn't even I think I commented, and then maybe I popped in later, and maybe they weren't even talking about me, but somebody was talking about possibly exposing somebody over political stuff in the fragrance community, and it's just ridiculous, guys. And I was pretty sure it was me, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about me, because this guy does watch some of my content, and he does sneak, behind the scenes, and he mentioned something. I don't want to even allude to what it was, but I know exactly which live he was talking about on Instagram, and what he was criticizing of, and he was criticizing that I was talking to a perfumer live on Instagram, and I could have this completely in my head. I could be completely wrong, but He was saying that because I was talking about the fragrance and it's supposed to have coconut. I was talking about how I really didn't smell coconut, or I didn't smell coconut the way I usually perceive coconut, which is that bright, fresh, like fresh juiced coconut, like I'm familiar with in fragrances and what I kind of personally would expect coconut to be. And the perfumer was telling me how the fragrance is actually the coconut was actually in the fragrance and how it was used, and it's more of a dry coconut in the fragrance. And I've never really smelled a fragrance that uses dry coconut like that. And if this guy does try to expose me, it's gonna be really funny. And like, what does he think I'm supposed to do? Sit there and try to argue with a perfumer and tell him that coconut is not in the fragrance? It's like, hey, perfumer, you didn't because I don't smell coconut. That fragrance doesn't have coconut in it, and does he think I'm supposed to tell the perfumer that he's wrong? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I was getting. And if this guy is watching this, if this is the case, this is only going to fuel the fire. And I'm not a guy to get in the drama, but if I don't know why, but I don't know. I'm not rearing for a fight, and I thought this guy liked me, and vice versa. But you know, I just think it's funny if somebody's going to you know, you know, throw shade or do whatever that out there. I'm not looking for a fight, and I don't want the fragrance community to fight. But if somebody is willing, and if they're doing that in public, they're probably talking about my name in private. And if anybody's saying bad about me and my name and all that, um, I don't know. Maybe I should just let it go. But I have been taught to pretty much fight for my reputation. And I've been underhanded and I've let things slide and I've lost tons of friends and tons of colleagues and stuff in the past over all kinds of ridiculous situations and all kinds of ridiculous opinions about me. I don't know. Maybe I should fight a little bit more for myself. I'm just in one of those moods. I don't know why. Says Benjamin. Let's see. Hey Tony. Hey, how you doing, Centralize? You have a nice backyard. Yes, Schism. I'm in the south. This is the south. This is the forest. Doing. I like it back. I like it out here in the woods in the country. This is how I was raised, and this is to me. This is normal life. So go for it, Steven. My backyard is 5 feet by 5 feet. Yeah, you might live in the city. I feel you. It's a whole different world. If you do want to move to the country, you can. You can save up some money. It's a lot more affordable, but you don't have as much convenience. Uh, Honestly, having normal, what's it called? Y'all gonna think I'm so uncultured because I guess maybe I am. Let's see. What are those? It's not landlines. What the actual fiber cables for internet? It's like the high speed ones. I forget what they're called, but there's actual high speed internet cables or whatever it's called, Ethernet. I don't even know. But the one of the I think the wealthiest neighborhood in the city already had them, but like one of the newer, wealthier neighborhoods just started to get them, and those are like the only people, and they're having to pay extra. And so the vast majority of people in my city don't even know what that is, and don't even have high speed internet. So I'm definitely out here in the country. Says, hey Ben, do you prefer Tuscan leather or ombre leather? Both are absolutely fantastic. I'd like Tuscan leather better, but I don't. I feel more comfortable wearing ombre leather on a more regular occasion, so I kind of like them about the same. I recently bought Mayukawam by Rasasi, which is kind of a dry, a little bit fruitier interpretation of Tuscan leather. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's definitely worth the money. And I might buy ombre leather one day. I don't know if I will, but they're both great. I don't know if I could choose, but if I was to choose one, it'd probably be ombre leather because I could just wear it more. But I mean, I would take them both. I don't think it'd be redundant. If you're a leather fragrance lover, I don't think it'd be redundant to own both of them. No, is it the guy who doesn't like Aventus is the one who is just doing the live? I saw a bunch of the new guys talking crap about someone. No, that if it was really recently, it probably wasn't me. I don't even know what was going on recent with that. But this was about I don't know 5, 6, 7 days ago. Like I don't know, like a week ago maybe. And I know that guy sometimes does watch my lives, and I know that the guy was probably there for that live on Instagram, seeing that conversation, and I just think it's really hilarious. And again, I'll say it again, because you can't smell a note. Are you going to sit there and tell the perfumer that it's not in the composition? Would you do that? It's like it's one thing to say, you don't spell it very well, but I'm always trying to learn. That's the whole thing with the fragrance community and in the fragrance, I guess any hobby is you're always trying to learn the details. There's a lot of what I don't know. I'm not a master perfumer. I don't know how to make perfumery, and I know this guy doesn't know how to make perfumery. So why would you argue with a perfumer? Why would you? And tell them that there's, an ingredient isn't there when it is there and it's mixed into the composition and it's a part of the composition, but you just can't, just because it's listed and you can't smell it, it's absolutely ridiculous. Um, yeah, I don't like to be a part of the drama either. I try to avoid it. I don't want to be a part of it. But I do feel like with some things, if somebody is, willing to try to put me down or something, and with Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, again, I wasn't trying to put him down. It's just sometimes I get those vibes with people, and sometimes I don't watch people for a while. Maybe it's just me. And I come back later and everything's hunky dory. But I do wish him the best, and I think a lot of people have expressed concern for him. And I wish Carlos the best. He's a cool guy. When I first got into watching fragrances and learning about fragrances, he was one of my go-to guys, and I care about the guy. So please, nobody, please don't act like I hate the guy or I'm trying to beat up on the guy. I don't even know why I said that, but that was something on my chest. It really was. So if you want Kajal reviews, go to Fragrance Journey. He has almost all of them. Yeah, Fragrance Journey is definitely into the niche, especially the animalics and the ouds, and he knows this business. And as far as I know, if you're looking for some really daring fragrances and if you're looking for ouds, I don't think he's dived and messed with the world of with the Atars. But if you want, big name houses and if you want the best of the best ouds, he's probably your go-to guy. I respect Fragrance Journey. Never duplicated frags. Hey Solano, hey my friend, what's going on? I have 15% power, guys, so I'm gonna be able to be on here with y'all for maybe 10 minutes more, but my power is about to go out. Any idea about Roja Elysium? I think I have reviewed it in the past. If I haven't, I've mentioned it quite a few times. I think it's, and I was the one who first said it. It's essentially a Rojas an attempt at Blue de Chanel. It smells like an Aventus top, and then a kind of a more of that molecular amberwood kind of smell, and more of a Blue de Chanel type of DNA. It's very mass appealing. Lots of people like it. A lot of people enjoy it. For me, I've never was the biggest fan of Blue de Chanel or Sauvage, and especially for that price, I do not like niche fragrances that smell designer. It's all right if lots of people like it, if it's mass appealing, but if it smells too similar to a designer fragrance, in my opinion, niche is about smelling a little bit more unique. So what's the point of paying all that more money for something that's just a lot, and it is better quality. There's no doubt that Roja Elysium is a lot better quality, but is it worth paying $300 for Roja Elysium versus Blue de Chanel for the $100 odd? You could just buy Demeter Pineapple, spray that, and then spray Blue de Chanel on yourself, and you're gonna smell pretty darn close to Elysium, and you'd pay like half the price. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I have Gajal home. It's very nice. I'll have to give it a try. I'd like to try it. Um, I probably shouldn't be blind buying anymore, but there's so many fragrances out there. I wish I had a huge budget. I wish I could just buy everything willy-nilly, but I really have to buy intentionally everything. We're probably talking about someone else and you're just paranoid. Maybe. It could be cyanide. It could be somebody else. But he was talking about somebody on a live, talking to a perfumer about a coconut fragrance, and then how everything was going down. I think it was me, but who knows? In mentioning coconut, I like Light Blue Sun. Bravis, you're that guy who brings us. You're that grounded guy who brings us all back to home. He's like, come on, guys, come on. Yeah, that's a good fragrance. Yeah, that's a very nice, easygoing, happy fragrance. And yeah, Schism, I'm being pretty funny. My mind is all over the place, and I'm just speaking whatever comes to mind. Expose who talk about politics. Who cares about the people who think your political views? Yeah, that's the thing. I this is a fragrance community, and I again, there's a lot of funny business going on. I don't want to get into it, but I don't know if y'all been paying attention to Instagram. It's like there's a bunch of people who essentially outcast you if you don't think the same way they do, and do what they want you to do. And I thought these people cared about fragrance, but it doesn't seem like they care as much about fragrance as they do about these other agendas. And I'm not going to tell y'all exactly what it is, and I'm not going to get into it here on a fragrance channel. But I encourage y'all to actually do research about anything somebody tells you what to believe, or when emotions are involved. I encourage y'all to actually do your research into the nitty gritty and the details about anything you hear on the news. Second guess and third guess, and actually get to the root of what's going on. So, fiber optic, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. People around here don't even know what fiber optic is, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to hang out at Ben's backyard and for people to ask who's by that tree. No, y'all are funny, Steve H. Y'all like to prank me. Y'all like to prank me and ask me about people outside. Y'all think I have the Yeti in my backyard or something. Light blue is sun legit. Yeah, it's legit. It's a good fragrance. I like the Swimming Lipari the best, but that one's a fun little fragrance too. Light blue sun is a nice fun fragrance. Are you guys talking about light blue sun man or woman? I think he must be talking about the man version, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know much or anything about the woman's version. I added La Yukawam to my wish list and looked at some of the other Rosasi fragrances. Have you tried Derish or Riche? I haven't tried the others, but I've heard very good things about from most of them. Most people, as far as I know, spoke really highly about most of the Versace fragrances, so I bet they are pretty darn good. I need a good suede fragrance with plum or citrus notes. Um, it's a little bit more of like a modern oud, but you might like Andy Warhol by Sensual Obsessions. I've spoken pretty highly about that one. But if you want suede and if you want dark woods, definitely try Plum Japonais by Tom Ford. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's the real deal juice. Plum Japonais by Tom Ford. Gorgeous juice. A little bit like Black Orchid, perhaps, and it's very, very nice. Expensive, but I think it's worth it. Darren is lovely. Is lovely. A Valentino V clone, a beast in the winter. Yeah, for sure. Derish, I mean, yeah. Instagram, Twitter are no-go areas for me. Yeah, I kind of liked Instagram. I still kind of like it, but I felt like it was a little bit less of a drama zone than especially compared to Facebook. And YouTube has always been kind of in the middle. Sometimes there's drama, sometimes there's not. But recently, Instagram has gone absolutely bonkers, and I don't know. It's absolutely bonkers, and I don't know. I just don't want to be a part of any of it. I really don't. Y'all know what's going on right now with all that. So, anyways, I'm at low battery, guys. I'm at 5%. I gotta wrap this one up. I hope that y'all are doing really well. I'll be on tomorrow night. We'll have a little bit of a longer chat. We'll have a better time, and I won't speak so randomly. And I'm sure I've got myself in hot water again. I wish you the very best, Carlos. I hope that you feel like the world isn't against you because we're with you. And there's a lot of smaller fragrance reviewers. And one reason I also bring it up is maybe he and other bigger fragrance reviewers are annoyed because I don't know. Maybe the bigger fragrance reviewers should try to reach down to the smaller reviewers a little bit more. But there's a bunch of smaller fragrance reviewers who are trying to badmouth and trying to I don't know, act like they're going to take the crown of the bigger fragrance reviewers. I hope they know that YouTube doesn't see it that way. YouTube supports authorities of bigger fragrance reviewers. The more so it's they're not trying to push up new coming fragrance reviewers. What they try to do is support what YouTube thinks is good content and also authority. So they're only going to grow faster. That's not how this works, but I don't know. I would try to build everybody up and care about everybody. I wouldn't try to tear anybody down, but that's how some people are going about it. See, take care and be safe. Take care, Ben. Take care, people. I'll see everybody. Be safe out there. Be well. Enjoy your day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central Time, same time as today. I know that y'all are smelling good out there, my friends. And I probably have spoken or said too much as I shouldn't have. But that was what was on my mind and that was on my heart. So hope that y'all are well, everybody. Hope that y'all are smelling good. I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody. Live well. Bye.